Okay, so first of all, you have to determine, are you a trader or are you an investor? If you are a trader, then you may have to realize that you made a bad trade, because buying the top and selling the bottom is definitely a bad trade. However, if you are an investor buying Bitcoin for the long term, then I'll tell you right now that it doesn't matter whether you bought at 60K, 50K, or 5K.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Carl from the moon, coming to you guys on a Friday today. We got a very important day going on right now. Is Bitcoin has maybe found a bottom. We'll find out. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Carl's channel down below in the comments. He's also the founder of Costa, which we'll be talking about that, how that launch went here in a few minutes. But Carl, first and foremost, how are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely okay. I think the crypto market has taken a correction here. This is something that I'm getting more and more used to by this point. I mean, we've been here for a few years now. So of course, it's more fun when things are going up, but we're all in here for the long term. So I think it's just part of the game by now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I guess that answers my next question. My next question is, are you scared?
No, I'm not scared. My Bitcoin, I mean, I hold just as many Bitcoin today as I did yesterday. One Bitcoin today is just as valuable as a Bitcoin. Well, not really as yesterday, but the fundamental value is the same. The price has changed. So the price can change, but the actual fundamentals that are making Bitcoin what it is, making it valuable to us as humans, that never changes. It actually, on the contrary, gets stronger and stronger and stronger as the hash rate goes up, as more people use Bitcoin. So yeah, the fundamentals, they grow stronger every single day, actually. So with that in mind, being a hodler and holding for long term, it makes no sense to ever panic sell Bitcoin, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think if you're going to make decisions on buying or selling, you need to go in there without, all of your emotions. But real quick, Carl, I'm actually going to, since you are driving right now, or riding, you're not driving to make a video. I want to show you something real quick and get your thoughts on it, because I understand what you're saying. You're saying that you're not scared, but people are scared out there right now. We've got this Bitcoin Fear and Greed index, which is at 18 right now. Yesterday, it was at a 15. When this thing updates, unless we get a pretty big bump today, I expect that to maybe be even lower than yesterday. Just like, what message do you have for people that are looking right now? Maybe they got in Bitcoin at 65K or they bought at 50K, and right now the price is at 42. What kind of advice can you give those people, kind of from your experience?
Okay, so first of all, you have to determine, are you a trader or are you an investor? If you are a trader, then you may have to realize that you made a bad trade, because buying the top and selling the bottom is definitely a bad trade. However, if you are an investor buying Bitcoin for the long term, then I'll tell you right now that it doesn't matter whether you bought at 60K, 50K, or 5K. Because in the future, Bitcoin will grow. That's my very, very clear conviction. I'm very, very certain of that. Just go back to 2017. I know many people that bought Bitcoin at $20,000, me included. I bought some Bitcoin at like 17, 18, like something like this, because I was dollar cost averaging all the way up and all the way down. And there was a point where I felt stupid, where I felt like, what did I do? Like, I just wasted so much money at the top, and I could have bought more now when Bitcoin was down at 5K. But I also realized that, why should I worry about this? I'm a long-term believer. It doesn't matter what the price of Bitcoin is today or tomorrow, because it's all about the fundamentals of Bitcoin and the long-term vision, and the fact that Bitcoin is the best form of money in the world, and that inflation is growing and the dollar is collapsing slowly but surely. And that is not going to change anytime soon. So as long as you believe in the fundamentals, stop staring at the charts so much. And fine. If you want to trade, that's perfectly okay. Trading is something that you definitely can do, but only with a small part of your portfolio. I would never trade with my whole long-term holdings. That's like no one does that. Not even the like a professional trader would never risk his whole portfolio um, on any one single market, which would be Bitcoin in this case, or any one single trade. So if you are too emotionally attached to a trade, then it means that you invested too much in this trade, and then you're essentially doing wrong. That's the wrong approach. So first, yeah. So I guess the first thing, determine, are you an investor or are you a trader, and then from there on, you have to look at your actions.
Okay, so that's awesome advice. That's similar, very similar things to what I've been telling my audience over the last, couple of days here. I want to show you the chart here real quick. This is the daily chart for Bitcoin. Obviously, you're riding around right now, so you can't do any real, technical analysis. But you can see we've been on a downtrend here, a very strong downtrend. It looked like at some point we were going to break out of it. We certainly didn't break out of it. And we're pretty much below every major support line or trend that we've had recently. Bitcoin went all the way down today to about $41,000, which is a slightly lower low from this wick right here that we looked at. Until yesterday, there was basically nothing in between this line right here and this wick. We went all the way down to it. Do you think that this right here may be a bottom, or do you think we have more room to go? Do you think we're going to set an even lower low?
Yeah, so 41K is actually the level that I believe we did talk about in the previous collaboration as the potential bearish target. There's a huge support and resistance level there. And the fact that we are holding there still means that on the weekly time frame, we're holding a higher low. So that's obviously good. But on the other hand, if we now were to break 41K, that would, of course, lead to a, in my opinion, weekly bear market. While right now we are technically still in a weekly bull market, but daily bear market. And determining the time frame is always very, very important, of course, because the weekly can be bullish while bearish on the daily, and so on. So that's important. The 41K, that is definitely the level to watch. But I have been talking about that level a lot. That I think that that's a very clear bearish target on the daily time frame, and it's a good place to potentially scoop up some cheap Bitcoin for a potential bounce. So yeah, that's kind of my two satoshis on that.
Yeah, so it kind of lines up with what I've been thinking. If it goes below, I would say if it goes below 40, it could possibly go a lot lower. If it goes, some people are saying 39, but you're even saying this $41,000 level is very important to hold. So I think that's very important for people to pay attention to, when you guys are trying to make decisions on what to do with your portfolios. Last but not least, definitely want to talk about Costa. You guys had your launch yesterday. How did it go? How are you feeling? I think the chart's pretty interesting. I mean, anytime anything launches, you have a bit of a drop there, but it's really held pretty steady.
Yeah, it has been holding very, very steady. So I think that's a good sign, showing that the buying pressure is definitely there. I am sitting here with the CEO of Costa, actually. Well, the positive thing with the launch was the insane amount of volume we got. There was a world record volume of $100 million on day one. I never saw that before. ByBit never saw that before. I don't think anyone ever saw that before. And you can say that's a good thing because it's good with volume, of course, but also it was the hype got a little bit out of hand, and of course the Castians kind of broke ByBit there because there was just no way that volume was it was way more than all of us expected. We expected a lot of volume, and ByBit actually adjusted for that, but it went even beyond those expectations. So
awesome to hear.
Yeah, what can we say about that?
Yeah, what can we say? I mean, the volume, like we said, we're happy that the casting community is so strong in that sense, and that they, broke ByBit. It's unfortunate, but it steadied out. The price has steadied out a bit now.
It's coming out when?
Approximately within 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Then we're
good.
gonna-
We've been working on it for over a year now. So
Yeah, actually 1.5 years now,
Yeah,
I think.
exactly.
Yeah,
So we're getting closer and closer every day.
yeah, this is definitely a long-term project. We are very, very happy that we are finally getting very close to launching the app, because of course the token launch, that's a big step, but the app, that's the very big thing,
Yeah,
right?
and that's what we have this vision that we want to solve with crypto payments and the utility around the token. The token is integrated in that product. So after that,
Yeah, I think we're very different from other crypto projects, because many projects, they kind of raise money and launch a token based on an idea. We did the exact opposite. We had the product, we were already working on it for more than 1.5 years, a very, very solid foundation to stand on.
Yeah.
And then we decided now we're ready for the other step there. But I mean, look at the crypto markets right now. I think 90% of projects out there, they don't really have anything, and that happens in a bull market, but we want to make sure that we always stand on our feet, and we have fundamentals to back up all of our actions, and that's what we're doing. And
for sure.
And we're gonna show the app much more now, right?
Yeah.
Because
We had a small little beta that we showed, but we're going to show a lot more these coming days because the features are rolling out now. So we'll demo it even more in the next coming days.
And maybe we can even give Ben some access to the beta, so you can try
I like
out.
that.
Be very nice. Yeah. That would be cool. Our beta tester.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I'm excited for what you guys have. I really believe this project is going to crush it over time. I'm not saying the price is going to go, up overnight or anything like that. It might, but I think over time you've got a real winner here, and that's what we're glad to support you with what you're doing. So congratulations on the launch. I'm glad it went well. I want everybody in the chat, if you guys got in on cost, I want you guys to drop down below what you guys out of it. And don't forget to go subscribe to Carl's channel. That link is also in the description. And let's get this video up over 10,000 likes. Should be pretty easy to do, I believe. Anything else, Carl?
I think this was Carl. This is the other Carl, and we're happy to be on Carl Squared. Exactly. People are joking about that a lot. Well, one cool thing is that both me and Carl were featured in Forbes 30 under 30 in the same issue.
Wow,
that's very cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a little bit mind blowing actually. I think it's very cool because it was a dream of ours both, and that happened. And yeah, it's very cool because honestly, that was like a dream of mine for a long time. And
yeah,
Forbes, I mean, it's huge. And I mean, you're also a little bit mind blown, right? It's cool.
Yeah,
I also would love to be featured in the 30 under 30. So if you could, if Costa does really well, I'm going to need you to create a time machine for me so I can go back. And
I'll try to hook you up, man.
100%. Yeah.
We'll hook you up. We'll hook you up. Yeah.
I appreciate it. All right, guys. That's all we got for today. Be blessed. The boy out.